like, thanks for doing it as well. I appreciate you taking the time to chat to me.
Not at all. Thanks for giving us a chance to come on and have a chat.
Before I start as well, like, so I've obviously done a little bit of research online, like, had a look for you, but some places said you're a band, and some
Uh-huh.
places said you're a solo artist.
So
So
definitely a band.
definitely a bit. Because I looked at your
Yeah.
Instagram and I thought, there's no way that's a solo artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, sound. I just wanted to make sure before I started firing questions at you and I asked them it wrong.
Yeah, it
Like,
kind of started off a little bit as a solo project and then kind of very quickly morphed into a band. So
yeah, because when I was listening to I listened to your music today at work,
Mhm.
and like, oh, is it Direction?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that because it sounds a little bit like sort of Angus and Julia Stoney, and
Oh no,
like,
wait, that's actually, I'd say one of my biggest influences. So
oh, is
yeah,
it?
I'm glad it comes through.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And how did your music sort of journey start? Like, and how did you and what how did it come to Pastel Moon? What was it?
Well, it's an interesting story. Well, I guess I've been playing music for it since I was like 14. I'll be 36 this year. I guess at the start of the last year, yeah, but 3 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, I was signed off work myself. So I had a problem with my neck, it locked up, and I couldn't move it at all.
Yeah.
Um, and I was on quite a bit of medication for it. So it was a little bit loopy, and I was just kind of wanting to do something with my music to pass the time. But I was looking for kind of a name for it, and yeah, kind of just put all the lyrics that I had into an algorithm and said like, what's the common themes? And it said you talk about the moon a lot. So it's like, moon, and then I looked out the window, and it's kind of like this pastel colored moon, and yeah, so it's kind of how the name came to be. And then I kind of set up a wee studio session with some mates, and then all the mates kind of ended up just becoming the band quite naturally. After the session, they just wanted to keep doing it. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. But
That's quite. Is that your first sort of so you like first time you sort of performed under a name like type thing, or you're just like a solo singer beforehand?
yeah, kind of. I've been in sort of bands in and off, but none of them ever seem to last more than like a couple of months. And I'd just kind of been doing solo stuff for ages. And then I hadn't really played live for like 3 or 4 years before that. Um, yeah, I'm glad I decided to get back into it because otherwise wouldn't have had we wouldn't be Pastel Moon.
I really like it. I like the sound because obviously I said like there's a bit like the Angus and Julia Stone sound and
Hmm.
a bit like London Grammar as well. Like that sort of
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I really enjoyed that. It's brilliant. Is it like sort of dream pop? Is that what you'd call it?
Yeah, I guess we kind of struggle to think of what the genre is. Kind of people come up with like kind of dream pop, ambient, indie rock, that sort of vibe. But yeah, no one's given us a concrete genre yet. But I guess we're going with dream pop for now. It
How did
sounds
you get to
cool.
that
So
sound?
I don't know. I guess kind of when I'm doing songs, I'll bring them to the guys. They'll normally be a sort of electronic drums and loops and samples and weird synth things. And they'll be like half an hour long. And I give it to the band, and they kind of go bring it back down to kind of normality, and they rewrite all the parts, so it's all their own. And then like Ali, the singer, she'll redo the lyrics, redo the melodies. Alex, bassist, he'll like kind of sort out the structure and just rewrite all the bass lines. And then yeah, Joseph, the drummer, really good drummer, he'll just completely rewrite the drum parts, and it all turns into its own kind of thing after that. Um, yeah, I guess that's the how we came to the sound we have. I guess it's kind of an accident. It's just the way it turns out at the end of the process.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. Is it like
Mm.
do you try and go for a certain type of mood or atmosphere with it, or
I guess
like
we just
settle
dreamy
something?
is kind of what we aim for. Just kind of dreamy, kind of moody, chilled out, introspective sort of vibes, I guess.
Yeah. I love that. I love it. It's brilliant. I like
Mm.
the ah, I should write the songs down. Is it background noises? I try
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not
yeah.
I try and remember it because I don't want to write it
Mm.
down and look at the paper all the time. And
I
the
mean,
background noise is really good as
I
well.
forget the names of them all the time as well. So
Yeah, I'm terrible.
yeah, yeah, background noise. That's the newest one to come out off the EP. That's all on the way. So
Ah, they're good. Did you see when you write your songs, do they come from a
mm.
personal sort of place, or can you just write songs like from the top of your head?
They kind of do and they kind of don't. For like the lyrics, I've got like a bunch of notebooks I keep in my room, and if like I wake up, I'm kind of daydreaming or wake up from a dream, I'll just write nonsense down in it or like dreams I've had, and then when I'm kind of writing the music, just jamming, I'll then kind of just go into it and find something that suits the mood of the song, and then work on it from there. And
Yeah.
then there might be a line or two that's like personal experience or but that's kind of, I guess, why it kind of sounds a bit lyrics are a bit random and out of nowhere. But normally Ali will kind of reorganize them and make them a bit more coherent.
Yeah, make them make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Do you mix and produce everything yourself?
I used to in the past, but I haven't with Pastel Moon. We've so for the first single we did, Deja Vu, we recorded it all in this room apart from the drums. We went down to a place called Audio Barn in Leith. There's a producer there called Ali, and he's really good. And he did that for us. We were blown away by it. And then, yeah, for the EP, the four songs that are coming out, we just want to try something a bit different. So we went to a guy called Graham Young at Chamber Studios in Edinburgh, and yeah, he recorded all that, and then we sent it away to I forget their name now. Weird Jungle, it's the company to get it mastered, and you're really happy with them. Both totally, completely different kind of studio engineers, but really happy with it. It's good.
Ah, quality. So, obviously Angus and Julia Stone, I've already mentioned it. Have you got any other
Hmm.
sort of inspiration for your music?
I guess electronic wise, I really like Caribou, if you've heard of him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love Caribou. He's probably one of my favorite artists. I guess for guitar, John Frusciante. I don't really listen to him anymore because I listen to him to death. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was influenced heavy by him. And I guess, yeah, I really like Portugal the Man, Angus and
Oh,
Julia
Portugal Man are
Stone.
brilliant, isn't they? Love
Love them.
Portugal the Man.
Frightened Rabbit as well. Big fan of them from Scotland.
Oh, yeah, Frightened Rabbit. They had one of them died, didn't they, for Frightened Rabbit?
Yeah, yeah, he had a suicide. He jumped off the bridge in Edinburgh.
Yeah, I met them at
Um,
when B Festival used to be a thing. They did a meet and greet. We went and met them.
oh no
It
way.
was only a few years later he died. Like, so it was quite
Yeah.
sad. I didn't really hear of them until
Mm.
B Festival, and then we went and watched them, and they were brilliant.
It's a shame I can't listen to their music anymore, so it makes me too sad to
It's
think
weird
about
that,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah.
My dad's like that with Leonard Cohen. He said he used to be a
Oh yeah.
massive Leonard Cohen fan, but he said it just made him depressed all the time. So he had to stop
Yeah.
listening to it.
Yeah. That's the hopefully our music doesn't do that to people.
No, I like yours is brilliant. Like I've added it to I make a playlist for when I just sort of like sit about doing nothing. I like and like I'll just like put some chill music on the background. So I've like sort of added that to that playlist
Hmm.
now. It's like it's a great
Oh,
little
thank you so
chill
much.
thing to listen to. I love it. It's a great sound.
Hmm.
But I'm a big
You'll
fan of
have to
that
send
sort
us
of
the playlist. We'll have a listen to it.
yeah, well, I'm a big fan of that sort of dynamic anyway, when you've got the man and woman singing, like I always think it sounds
Hmm.
better. So it's
Yeah,
brilliant.
Ali, the singer, she's a big fan of Angus and Julia Stone as well. Think what other music the guys listen to. Yeah, Ali really likes Bishop Briggs and uh, Aretha Franklin, all these kind of
Nah, the
yeah,
oldies.
yeah. Yeah, Joseph listens to like anything and everything. Yeah, and Alex as well, bassist. He's got a really cool music taste. Yeah, they always come out with songs I've never heard of. I'm like, that's really cool. So there's like an
See, it must be good
endless.
with a band because you've all got different sort of tastes and you can sort of mix it all
Yeah,
together.
yeah, it's good. They always got new stuff to listen to, and everyone's got different ideas, and yeah, and they always come up with stuff that I would have never thought of in a million years to like add to
Yeah.
songs, and yeah, like the structure. Like, why don't we take this away, put this here, move this around, and it's been really cool.
Do you get see with because your sounds obviously with the dream pops type thing? Do you
Mm.
get influence outside the music as well? Like I don't know, like film and things like that.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, I watch a lot of like anime and weird psychological thrillers, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And yeah, it probably does filter through somewhere. Nothing really directly, but it'll definitely get in there somewhere.
yeah, if it was through
Mm.
it.
Mm.
What's
Definitely with the lo-fi, yeah.
yeah. What's the Edinburgh music scene like?
Um, it's kind of it's good. It can be a little bit cliquey at times. Like the
Yeah,
a lot of the places in Scotland, the venues are hard to get into if you don't know people or you don't have the cash to put on the gigs yourself.
yeah,
But I guess once you kind of have a small fan base, then then you're grand because they're just coming to see you anyway. We've been really fortunate in all our gigs that we've loads of people have turned up. Super fortunate for that. But I know for some bands and from bands in the past that I've been in, it's been super, super difficult to just get gigs in the first place unless you're shelling the money out to put it on. But there is a good music scene there, but I think it needs work from the actual
yeah.
musicians
I think the
themselves.
UK in general
Um,
is not the best. Like, unless you go London, it's not
yeah,
really. It's got to be hard, I think, because like I spoke to a woman last week. She was from Nashville. She lives in Nashville, and she's got everything around her. There's all music everywhere, and I thought I wish we had it was like that here. Like we've just got everyone just
yeah,
goes to London and hopes to make it in London.
yeah. There should be I think, more effort from the musicians and the venues and everything to try and
Definitely, 'cause it used to be a big music scene, didn't it, the UK? And it's
yeah.
like it's not as
There's
great
a
as it
whole
used to
culture
be.
of music, and it's just not there anymore.
Yeah,
Um,
I sort of wish I lived in like the 80s and the 70s where they
yeah,
you had to pick a side and that was it. You
yeah.
were like a mod
Oasis or
or a punk.
Blur or
Yeah, yeah, like Oasis and Blur.
yeah.
Like yeah. And what I've read that you sort of played sort of like the like venues like Bannerman's and
Mm.
Leith Arches. Have you learned anything from playing them sort of venues?
Yeah, definitely. They've all got their sort of their blessings and their curses. A lot of all the buildings in Edinburgh are like really, really old ancient buildings. And a lot of them
Yeah,
are listed, so they can't really do anything to the sound to fix it. The same with the Leith Arches one. Put that one on ourselves, but it's an old disused train station that's been turned into like a venue. But I don't think
yeah,
they're really allowed to do anything to it. So it's just like walls and a bar, and that's it. So the studio, the engineer that we'd hired to do the sound, yeah, I think he had his work cut out that night to try and make it sound good, but he did a really, really good job. There's something to do with like the way the room is, that all the
yeah,
bass builds up. And loads of bands had said in the past it's really difficult to get a good sound there. But it's kind of a cool place to tick off the list that you've played. So I really wanted to play there, and I'm glad we did. But yeah, it took him a while to kind of figure out what was happening with the sound and why it wasn't
yeah.
working. But yeah, there's all sorts of tricks like that. The buildings aren't designed to be venues, so
It's got to be a good learning
lots.
curve for the sound and stuff then places like that. I love
For
gigs in
sure, for
places like that.
sure. Some of them are just so loud because the rooms are so small. Like there's a good one called Banshee's Labyrinth that we've played, and the sound's amazing in there, but it's just so small that like you can't make the sound quieter than a certain volume.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah, and you're like kind of sardines cramped into a little room there, and it's
yeah. I love gigs like that.
yeah, no, same, same. Yeah, I'm never up at the front of gigs. I'm always I like to stay at the back and watch the
Yeah.
band and
That's where
sit
I've got now. I've
quietly.
got older. I used to love the
Yeah.
front, but I've worked my way right to the back now.
Yeah, it's too much sensory information for me.
Yeah, yeah. We went Bruce Springsteen last week in Prague,
Oh yeah.
and but I was like right at the back for that. I couldn't handle it in the crowd anymore. Have you got any sort of dream collaborations or anything, or sort of dream projects you'd like to work on?
um, there's something we kind of have half in the works, and we've not kind of got to it yet. So we've got maybe like I think like 15-ish songs we're trying to get through and release as EPs and singles. Um, but we have like album. It's not ready, but the songs are kind of written. And the idea with it was to have a different musician on every single song. Um, and then it kind of like simulates the not the scene, but like it gets more people involved in it, and everyone who's would have been on the record will hopefully listen to the record, and they'll tell 5, 10 people, and the idea is it'll snowball. So I think
Yeah.
hopefully maybe by next year we can get to that and get some other musicians involved, and
I'll share it
it'll
on
be
the
really
page as
cool.
well.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And
Yeah.
and like hopefully helps them, helps us, and it's a win-win situation. Um, yeah, I guess other than that, we're kind of like a four-piece, but we often have like a mystery fifth member. So we have a couple people that will help us out on guitar or whatnot for live gigs, because a lot of the
Yeah.
music is written with two or three guitar parts or whatever in mind, but I can't play all them myself. So we've got like a guy called Leo who has helped us out at a couple, and a guy called Josiah who's he's written a couple parts for us before, and yeah, and he's doing a couple gigs with us this year. So it's nice to have that sort of mysterious fifth member, like who's gonna
Yeah,
show
it's
up
quite
for
a
the
cool thing to
gigs.
have. Yeah. So what's next then? He's gonna try and work on the album, or he's got plenty of gigs and that lined up.
So we're trying to do from this month onwards. We're trying to do one gig every month this year. We've got an EP being released soon, so we're just kind of releasing each single off of it. We're up to the second one now, and then there's another single after that EP getting mixed at the moment, and then we're getting Joseph down into the studio to record drums for the next 4 or 5 tracks. And then after that, hopefully onto an album, I think would be the goal. It's just trying to find the time for it all. We've all got
Yeah, that's
jobs,
it.
and yeah,
Ah,
um,
brilliant. That was it really. That was like it was just like a short thing like that, just to hear
yeah.
about yourself and the band. And
No,
like
thank you so much. Yeah,
yeah, I appreciate it. Like thanks for doing it.